I am live. I am live. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I see two people are already watching me. I can't tell who is watching me or not. So I think I'm just going to open the live stream on another computer just to see who is talking to me because it does not show here on my. Yeah, it doesn't show who is here online. I would love to greet you personally. So I'm just going to go ahead and open the live stream on another computer. But welcome to the African Diaspora News Channel. You already know who it is. It is Reneilwe Morema, live from Johannesburg, South Africa. It has been a long time coming. You know me, I rarely do live streams. I don't like doing live streams. I just feel like they make me nervous. Let me just be honest. They make me nervous. They will they expose the intelligent capacity of a person. That's why I I avoid going live. But hello, everybody. I am opening my live stream on another platform just to see who is watching me. I see 8 people already on my live stream. Let us do this. Let us do this. What actually prompted me to go live? I saw a comment on the video that I did last night. If you haven't seen the video, it is captioned as, I think it's, oh my god, what is this video captioned at? Okay, but anyway, if you have seen my live stream last night, just last night, you will see that I was speaking about South Africans saying that they will be fine regardless of how the African continent isolates them. They don't care if the African continent isolates them. They will be fine. Africa needs South Africans more than we need them. So we will be fine. You can cancel or you can boycott our South African companies based throughout Africa. They don't care. You can you can kick out the tourists. They don't care. They don't care. You guys need us and they won't feel the economical consequences. That literally broke my heart. That literally broke my heart. Okay, I have opened the live stream. I just want to greet everybody personally. You guys are literally my favorite. You are my family, and I just want to take the time to acknowledge to acknowledge you guys before we enter the live stream. All right. Who is watching me? Who is watching me? Who's watching me? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. Like I said, 15 people already. Let us go. Let us go. Let us go. Let us enter. Let us enter the chat. Let us enter the chat. Let us enter the chat. And if you feel like I am lagging a little bit, please do tell me in the comments. I don't want to, there's just a lot of important factors that I just need to cover on this live stream. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. All right, let's get started then. I think everybody is there. I feel like South Africa stands at a crossroad. I feel like what began as a wave of xenophobic targeting African migrants has now escalated into a continental drift where now South Africa is being isolated. I saw a couple of videos online where other Africans in their own countries, Uganda, Mozambique specifically, let me not say other people, Uganda and Mozambique specifically, kicking out or isolating South Africans working in those countries and kicking out South African tourists in those countries, and also boycotting South African owned businesses, particularly MTN and Standard Bank. Please let me know if you can see me. Please let me know if you can see me. Hello, Eric C9U3N. How are you doing? Hello, Eric. How are you doing? Literally trying to see how I can, how I can do this. So I just feel like this xenophobic thing has now spiraled into a continental backlash. I mean, African nations are no longer silent. They are applying economic pressure, urging South African businesses to shut down across their territories and even closing their doors to South African tourists. The message is clear, ladies and gentlemen. The message is clear. Africa will not tolerate arrogance disguised as nationalism. That is just my 2 cents. And I feel like South African corporations, like I've mentioned, ShopRite, Standard Bank, and MTN, have long dominated African markets, But if these businesses are forced to retreat, billions in revenue vanish overnight, jobs are lost, supply chains collapse, and South Africa's economy, already fragile, by the way, begins to wobble. Tourism bans, they amount to pains in the tourism industry for both the host country and South Africa. I am talking about airlines being closed, travel agencies shutting down. People won't be able to put food on the table, all because of arrogance. All because of arrogance. And this notion that South Africans have, where they say African countries need us more than they need them, it is such an arrogant statement and a careless statement, because the last time I checked, if I'm being honest, this is a white man's economy. If we're being honest with ourselves, South Africa is a white man's economy and we are just the participants. So when South Africans, Black South Africans in particular, say that African countries need them more than they need us, it's more than we need them. I'm confused. I'm confused. The last time a lot of Black people in this country live below the poverty line. So I don't know who needs who at this point. But when we talk about South Africa and its thriving economy, I'm always thinking the white minority, because they hold 20% of the country's economy. That is just my chat. I want you guys to see this video once again. And I am going to read you a comment that prompted me to do this live stream, because it is this comment, this arrogance of it all, that made me do this live stream. Let us look at this video for a second, analyze it bit by bit, and then talk about the comments. Ooh.
Yes.
We pay cash. You guys are helpers at home.
Oh, hey.
Share it.
Why are you coming in Mozambique?
Why were you there?
Where? I'm here in the county. And you?
We're here to visit.
To visit?
I said you. We're not here
Where?
to go to
Where?
We're here to visit.
We have a beautiful county. That's why you like it. Why you coming? So why you chase us then? Why you chase us? You are stupid guys. You South African people. You are very stupid. Why don't go to your president? Why did you go to?
We need permission in Uganda. MTN is a South African company, reaching millions from Africa. They are killing our people in South Africa. I want to call you Ugandans to raise up against any South African here, whether legal or illegal. We want to say this installation here, we have never segregated them. But I think South Africans are used to violence. And if they are used to violence, we will give them the same in equal measure. I'm not stopping the work here.
Have you seen the video? It's crazy. It is a very crazy video. So in that video, basically, tourists from South Africa are telling Mozambicans, South African tourists that are in Mozambique, busy touring. They're busy saying that, hey, we don't need your business. We are here as tourists and we are paying. We are paying to be here. Unlike you Mozambicans that come to South Africa illegally and go missing or integrate yourself without anybody's permission. And worst of all, these South African tourists are telling Mozambicans that when you come to South Africa, you clean after us, you are maids, you scrub after us. That arrogant statement in itself literally burnt me to my soul. It literally burnt me to my soul. I can't believe South Africans. That's the sheer arrogance. And then someone um in the comment section, like I said, I made a video. If you've seen it last night, let me check what the title of the video is. If you've seen it last night, you'll see that I speak about it, about this arrogance in depth. But it's the comments that really got to me, that made me just want to go too deep into this. Let me check the title of the video. It's just recent, it's under 16 hours ago. If you are always on our channel, you will see it. All right. Oh, I don't understand why everything of mine is so slow today. Yeah. The title of the video, or the thumbnail, is called Getting Rid of South Africa. And the comments there, basically someone is saying that if these businesses, if these South African owned businesses are kicked out of the region, then the Uganda or Mozambique will be the one feeling it more, because they are losing business. And these South African companies, they employ the locals of that region, so they stand to lose more than ever. And I'm like, what about the revenues? What about the revenues that are coming to our country? What about the revenue? Aren't we losing? And the crazy fact is that the minute South Africa is isolated economically, the minute we start feeling the economical pressure from our African brothers and sisters, that is when the low hanging fruits, I'm talking about the low income wage households, they are the ones that are going to be feeling it the most, because politicians at this point, they've stolen so much from us. They've siphoned state money so much that they have shifted the money, or they've moved the money that they've stole from the state to offshore accounts, so their lives will be fine. What about us, the ones that are living in low to middle income households? What about us? So it's just this sheer arrogance. And I know that South Africa, if we're being honest, South Africa's stance when it comes to Africa, it's a big superpower. It's the biggest economy, or the second biggest economy in Africa. And we have I think in the African Union, yes, if I'm not mistaken, South Africa basically has a huge chunk. It's called a huge chunk block in the African Union, where South Africa's makes the African Union credible. It makes the African they have they have a larger percentage in the African Union, meaning they've have larger percentage in there, and most of the issues being raised there, if they are supported by South Africa or the South African government, then those kind of issues have weight in the international stages. So if South Africa really is isolated, they could pull back out of the African Union, and the African Union itself will lose credibility. But what is a country, what is a superpower country, a powerful economical country, without its proxies or without legitimate diplomacy? It's just like a floating sandbag. Yes, we are the most powerful economy, but without legitimate diplomacy, then who are we exactly? So yeah, let me read the comments. Okay, thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric. And I see, I don't know who this is. Don't talk. Yeah, no, South African arrogancy, I really don't like talking to. Let's comment. Let's comment. And if you can't see me properly, please do tell me in the comment section. I can see the comments now. If I am lagging or anything of that sort, please do tell me in the comment section. By the way everyone is watching, I'm thinking everything is going well. It's going well. I just don't like arrogance. That is all. Someone is saying this. I'm seeing the comment is held for review. The Rock O2, yes, OH2YW says, I am foundational Black American and we stand with South Africa and march and march, and y'all don't need the rest of them beggars on the continent. God bless Jacinta. All right, that is fine. That is fine. You can stand with Jacinta. I'm not saying let us not stand with Jacinta. I'm not saying like let us not confront the national crisis of this country. I am just saying when you do that, be cautious of the arrogance that comes with it, because judging by Jacinta and the way she mobilizes people, she fills them with arrogance more than facts. It's these type of conversations that will literally minimize our influence. The last thing South Africa needs is to have their influence minimized in the continent, and that is where I am getting at. I don't want our influence to be minimized. I don't want us to not have to not be a heavyweight country in the continent, because every single time an African country retaliates economically, economical pressure, or even have conversations of isolating South Africa, our legitimacy and influence shrink. So I don't want us uh, um, to to address issues that are plaguing our country while hurting other African countries. Yes, immigration, illegal immigration is not an isolated issue. I don't know why South Africans are acting like this is an isolated issue, that it only affects them. There are people that are also crying about illegal migration in their countries, but you don't see them attacking them, targeting them just because they're black. Illegal migration, I feel like illegal migration in this country has been overshadowed by what Jacinta and friends are doing in the streets, or have been overshadowed by the actual violence that is going on in the streets, because it is a problem. Illegal immigration in the country, it is a problem. It is affecting job supply. It's affecting employment. It is affecting the locals that live with these people in their communities. I'm not saying that these are not issues, but the legitimacy of the issue is being overshadowed by the targeting and the violence eruption and all of those rhetorics. I'm not saying let us not, let us not deal with these issues. Please don't get me. Just because I am disagreeing with how people go about this does not mean that I am for foreigners. So yeah, let's see the Rock again. SA is the real giant of Africa and the best nation and always will be. Well, SA is the real giant of Africa because of the white economy. If it weren't for white people that actually stuck around, were we going to be the great and giant nation that people say we are? All these companies that are being boycotted across the region, across the continent, they are white owned. The CEO of Standard Bank is white owned. He's a white person. The CEO of MTN Group is a white person. So if these economies or if these businesses collapse, these white investors or these white CEOs, they're not gonna feel it. Us, the ones that are low hanging fruit that depend on the revenue from these businesses, we are going to feel it. Where do you think the state gets its money from? From these foreign investors. So the key is to isolate South Africa. And I always sit with myself and wonder, isn't it weird that immediately after Cyril Ramaphosa signs a bill about Land Without Compensation Act, now all of a sudden everybody is protesting. All of a sudden issues that are supposed to be redressed in the past are no longer spoken about, are no longer discussed. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that we recently signed a Land Without Compensation bill? Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was saying finally black South Africans can get what is due to them. The forced removals of 1955, finally they can be repaid back. And suddenly there's a wave of xenophobic protests. Suddenly there's a wave of xenophobic protests. There's movement groups everywhere in South Africa that are targeting solely black people. My thing is, if it's about immigration crisis, let it be a national issue, not specific groups being targeted. And then so far, it's only literally, it's only black people being targeted. What about the illegal Germans there that are supplying kids with drugs? The Mexican cartel that were recently uncovered in Northwest with their drug labs. What about those? Why aren't those also targeted? If this is a national issue, as people claim it is, can all groups be targeted as well? All illegal people, whether white, pink, or orange, can they also be targeted? Why is it that it's always the black people that are the source of hatred? And I know someone in the comment section, not in the comment section, I think Jacinta also covered this this question that I'm posing, where she says that a lot of these illegal migrants, they settle in predominantly black people communities. They settle in poor people communities that are predominantly black people. They settle in the shanty towns, in the projects, as the Americans would like to call it, in the projects, in the rural areas. That's why they are focusing on those economies in those communities, because they are the ones that are plagued with illegal foreigners, and the illegal foreigners, they are black. unfortunately they are black. So it looks like they're targeting black people, but they're just focusing on areas that have been bombarded by illegal foreigners. She said that, and she said that going after white illegal foreigners will be a witch hunt, because white illegals don't bother black South Africans. They come to this country, they go private, they use private education facilities, private healthcare facilities. Everything about them is just privatized, and most of them are investors, as Jacinta would like to call them. Jacinta calls them investors. You can't be illegal and then invest. Where if you're illegal in this country, you are doing illegal stuff. There is no investment. There is no money of an illegal white person coming to the government, being pumped into our social service revenues. No, there isn't. So I think we are just the source of hatred. Really, we are. Let me look at these comments again. Let us have a conversation. Okay. The Rock, private investors own the rest of Africa and they can't kick nobody out. Those puppet president will obey the masters. Exactly. That yeah, that is true. Private investors, they're just looking for opportunity. Anything. I mean, if South Africa becomes cheapened by these protests, because we know that the more these protests come, the more the value of South Africa drops. The cheaper South Africa is, the more these investors are going to take advantage, and everything for they're going to invest in this country so much so that they're going to leave us broke. I don't even know if I'm making sense. If South Africa is cheap, they are going to come flooding here and offer us their cheap investment. In exchange, they're making more money. So we won't even have a leg to stand on when it comes to negotiating, because the value of South Africa would have dropped. Okay, let me see. Craig Moultrie says very poor point. I feel like, guys, if you're going to come to my live stream, please reiterate. You can't just say very poor points. Which part? And then write down your part and we talk about it. You can't just come here and do and insult people's thoughts and conversation. You can't just come here and just be insulting and being a very stupid person. Craig Moultrie, I'm sure he's a white person. They're not the very brightest bunch. They can't hold up a conversation if it does not involve being racist or very vulgar. Anyway, The Rock says, let the cowardly fleers in the rest of Africa cry. They had their president call no shots. Yeah, but also remember that these African countries helped us during apartheid, and a lot of them used a lot of money to actually help us gain our independence. And the apartheid government, let me say that the apartheid government literally destroyed any country. They destroyed any country's infrastructure that dared helped the freedom fighters from South Africa. So a lot of these people have been suffering economical setbacks from the days of apartheid. They have also been targeted, and a lot of these African countries have taken out loans from the World Bank to try to patch up what the apartheid government has done to their countries. So at this point, some of them literally use their monies to try to give South African freedom fighters shelter, to try and help fight apartheid. And they were met with hush, what revenge by the apartheid government. So some of them have taken out loans from IMF, the World Bank, and they've been stuck repaying those loans. And every time they think they've repaid those loans, they have to take out another loan to do something. So really, South Africa is stuck in a cycle of debt, historical debt that does not want to be wiped out. And some of these countries, they pay with their own resources. They have to give away resources at a very low price to these European, these American countries, American affiliated countries. So it's a lot. It's a lot. We can't just say that some of their presidents are not doing anything to address the issues plaguing their citizens. Some of them are stuck in World Bank debt, historical debt that doesn't want to go away. So yeah. Keith7189 says the issues affecting Affecting us is by design, and the end goal is for the elite to have good excuse to introduce digital ID to solve immigration issue. But in reality, the end goal is to control us. Why do you think that the African migrants, when they come to this country, they are the ones that are being hired? I mean, these people control how we sleep, where we sleep, how much is in our bank account, the balances, the pension funds, healthcare, everything. They control us with every single thing that we have. And it is not by some crazy coincidence that majority of the African migrants are being hired and not black South Africans. Who do you think does the hiring? Who do you think control the employment rate in this country? Who do you think actually controls the economy of this country? I think like South Africa's anger is not being, yeah, I think South Africa's anger is being misplaced. We are not looking at the bigger picture. These people control us. They are the ones that tell you when the tax should increase. They're the ones telling you if the inflation rate should increase or decrease. They're literally the ones controlling where we eat, what we eat, how much we can afford it. How much we can afford it. They are the ones controlling that narrative. And for some reason, the black Africans are to blame. They are the core or the foundational issues that we have in this country. They are the main source of our issues. They are the reason why we are unemployed. They're the reason why we are hungry. Stop it. You're being weird. We are being weird. If we're being honest, if we really want to address these issues plaguing South Africa, we should start with those that control the narrative, which is these white corporate giants. Burn their country. I mean, sorry, burn their businesses, burn their industries, their facilities, everything, burn them. Our mines now are being privatized, auctioned off to Europe and what is it, America. Everything is state-owned services. What is it? State-owned enterprise are being privatized. There's nothing left. Everything is being auctioned off. Your Kat Ferguson, he's also white. Kat Ferguson says you're horrid. I hate your videos. Then why are you here watching me, you weirdo? You effing weirdo. The Rock say, I heard some say they did not do anything during apartheid. Where is this narrative coming on that African countries did not assist South Africans during apartheid? What was Botswana doing? Hiding the freedom fighters. There are families in Botswana that died because they used to hide freedom fighters. There are families in Namibia that used to hide freedom fighters. They died. Like literally any African country, and especially Angola. Angola knows very well. Cuba and Angola knows firsthand how it was. Our freedom fighters used to go to those countries to hide, to train in arms, to train military wise. Those people really contributed. Some were actually really in the country on the ground fighting. It's the notion. It's this narrative that just is spewing out into South African people, saying that they were not here when we fought for apartheid. They were not. We did not see them. She was not also alive during apartheid. She's just a 90s baby like me. The difference between me and her is that I read books. If you knew how Angola and Cuba and Iran collectively helped us during apartheid, you wouldn't even be saying these nonsenses that you're saying. They did not help us. We fought apartheid ourselves. You didn't fight apartheid yourself. International sanctions were coming hard on the apartheid regime. So they had to make a change to still keep their capital. They stood, literally, activists around the world called for sanctions for the apartheid government. If they did not end apartheid, then they stood to lose a lot. So they made it seem like they were giving us power. They're giving us our freedom, our democracy, our liberation. But in reality, the sanctions were coming. The international isolation was coming. They were being isolated, so they had no choice but to pretend that, you know what, let's give them power, to pretend that we are a rainbow nation. But in reality, they stood to lose a lot. If they did not kill apartheid, if they did not end apartheid, then everything that they have accumulated, the financial benefits of it all, would have been lost. So no one was doing us. They did not do us a favor, because this was true freedom that we're living in, true democracy, it will come with economical emancipation. It will come with economical freedom, but it's not. We are being controlled in the background. They're still holding the strings, and we are still puppets. There's no reason why Rupert, a white man, a direct benefactor of apartheid, someone who also contributed to the funding of apartheid, is a billionaire today. He's a billionaire today. He's the most richest man on the African continent. A white man. Let that sink in. How did he become so rich? How did he obtain that money post apartheid if it was really economical independence that they say we have? How did he achieve that? How did he become a billionaire? And if he's a billionaire like that, why isn't he sharing his money with the rest of us? Why isn't he hiring us? Why isn't his companies hiring us? I mean, with that kind of money, he can literally end hunger. He can literally end us. He can literally end the unemployment rate of this country. So no, I'm sorry. We are dealing with the wrong people. We are going after the wrong people. Yes, those that are here in this country illegally, they need to go. There is no space for them, both white and black. If there's Indians here, they need to go as well. If there's illegal Chinese, they need to go as well. Like that, I am for it. I am for it. And they need to leave. Any means necessary, we must push them out, because they are contributing to the high inflation rate of this country. They're contributing to the unemployment rate, to all these bad economical optics of black people. They are contributing to that more than anything. They must leave. If they are here illegally, they must leave. But I'm not going to sit here and watch you patronize us, and I'm not going to sit here and watch black South Africans make black Africans feel like they are the source of their pain and they're the source of their misery, when we all know who we should be pointing our fingers to. That is something that I'm not willing to do. So let me read the comments. I'm really annoyed. Keith, thank you so much for commenting. Thank you so much for engaging with me. Thank you so much for having a conversation with me, for not undermining my points, for not talking crazy and stupid to me like the white people in this comment section. Okay, Keith 7189, I appreciate you. You are saying they allow illegals to work so that the job market is flooded, causing wages drop, then they capitalize out of this, hiring illegal migrants. Thank you. Someone that sees the bigger picture. They're exploiting these African migrants for their cheap labor so that they can maximize on capital. And somehow they are the problem. No. Burn those white-owned capital industries. Burn those white-owned industries. Burn them. If we really, really, really want to turn South Africa around, I say burn them. Let the rand drop. Let the rand drop. Let the South African financial markets drop. If we're really serious about this journey of equality, I want black South Africans to be the most successful blacks in Africa. And in order for us to do so, we need to untangle the rot of the white-owned capitals. Untangle that rot. Because they are the reason we are living in this, we are wallowing in poverty. They're not hiring us. We don't have jobs. We don't. Because they think that when we ask for what we are worth, they think that we are just, I don't know, we're just lazy, but we want money. We're just calling the shots when the economy does not belong to us. They're so mean. So they're just flooding this market. They're just flooding the job market so that they can capitalize. They can maximize their capital while they exploit poor African migrants for their cheap labor. And African migrants, they'll work because this is not their country. They're just trying to make it. So they really don't owe us anything. So the real people are the Boers, are the white people. They don't want to redress the past. They don't want to give us a portion of the wealth to redress the past. They want their friends, Elon Musk and Donald Trump to have their businesses here without complying to BEE laws. BEE laws say that 30% of the revenue made by investors should be given back to the black community, the previously disadvantaged community during apartheid. That 30% must come to us. But Elon Musk does not want to comply to that law. He just wants to invest and maximize on his capital and make money out of us without giving us a cent. That is what capitalism is. And that is what the Boers are fighting for. Hence, they're mobilizing the black people to protest and protest and protest and cause chaos. And the more chaos there is in South Africa, the more our value, like I said, the more the South African value drops, the more the legitimacy drops, our influence drops. Like I said, South Africa is heading up the AU. We have a lot of seats in the African Union. Our voice alone in South Africa is so strong that it can make changes in Africa. Whenever there's issues plaguing Africa, they take them to the African Union, and we, South African, being the bigger voice, we escalate the matter further. So we are going to lose that legitimacy power, that soft power. We are going to lose it if we are being isolated. And you think this is a joke? You think life is just black South Africans? No. You think life is just candies and milk? Black South Africans, you are not the economy that these African people are talking about. You are the participant of the same economy that I'm talking about. This is a white man's economy. If Africans really needed black people, we would have all been high class earning people, but we are not. We are not. And that is just the reality of it. So Keith, thank you. Thank you for saying they allow illegals to work so the job market is flooded, causing wages drop. Then they capitalize out of this hiring illegal migrants. So I think maybe if Jacinta framed it as like, if she framed it like this, these illegal, these migrants, not illegal, these African migrants, both legal and illegal, they flood the job market. They allow themselves to be exploited. And therefore, the job market is overlooking the natives of South Africa. And that is not solidarity. That is not African unity. That is not Pan-Africanism. Then I would have supported that movement. I would have supported Jacinta a long time ago. But because she wants to frame it like an imbecile, I cannot be behind that. I cannot be behind that. Warde Williams, he's Afrikaner, he's a Boer, he's a white person. Says if South Africans know it's the elites, take that energy and go to Cape Town and businesses and take your country back. No, instead you attack immigrants that have stores selling goods to you. Warde Williams? Or, yeah, you're right. Why is the energy not being taken to Cape Town? Why is the energy not being taken to Cape Town? You're right. You're right. Why is the energy not being taken to Cape Town? Why is Cape Town the exception when it comes to xenophobia attacks? Why is Cape Town the exception? And Cape Town, that is where the real crime comes, because the political party that's in charge of the municipalities in Cape Town, or in Western Cape rather, is the Democratic Alliance, the white-led party, the DA. They are the real criminals, where they pump in illegal Europeans, by the way. They pump in illegal Europeans, saturate the property market, drive up inflation, push out the ordinary people, the ordinary South African citizens that used to live in South Africa. I mean, that used to live in Western Cape. They push them out. They push them out. That is where the real crime is, but no one is saying anything. And this kind of method of seceding Western Cape is going to come throughout South Africa, and that is what's going to cause our fragmentation. Ask yourself, ask what the Democratic Alliance there in Cape Town, in Western Cape, is doing. The DA is auctioning off Cape Town, Western Cape, not just Cape Town, Western Cape, bit by bit, by allowing these Europeans to flood the property market. They flood the property market. No one can afford. The cost of living in Western Cape is crazy. It's crazy. The cost of living. I was in Cape Town early this year. I was in Cape Town earlier this year. It's expensive. It felt like I was in another country. I saw everybody. I saw every race, every ethnic, except black people. except black. And if I met a black person, it's either they're sleeping on the street, they're homeless, or they're maids working at hotels. Literally, black people in Western Cape, they are maids. They are maids. They are maids. They are garden boys. They work low income jobs, low wage jobs. They are maids. But everyone there is living the life. Everybody there is living the Chinese, the Germans, especially the Germans that are pumping drugs in South Africa, the Serbian mafias, the underground gods, the underground bosses that deal with drugs from South America, from Russia. They're full there in Western Cape, because the DA knows that these people are not only hogging the property market, where they drive up inflation for everybody there so that people can't afford the cost of living in Western Cape, but they're also endorsing the DA. They're pumping money in the DA. The DA is the most expensive political party on the continent because of these people. And in exchange for, and after endorsing the DA, you know what they do? These people vote for the DA. And the DA comes to South Africa and say, they are the second biggest political party in South Africa. They are bigger than Julius Malema. They're not. On a daily basis, if Julius Malema wants to fill up a stadium, it happens. It happens. I'm just watching your comments now. They're pumping money in the DA. The DA is the most expensive political party on the continent because of these people. I'm going to be leaving you. Joe King 400 sorry, says, if you truly feel what you expressed here, then the fact that you are here expressing it suggests possible signs of a personality issue. Your presence suggests you might have your issues. This was in response to Kurt Ferguson, who says that I'm making very poor points. I'm a very horrid person and he hates my videos. Thank you so much. Stephen, peace, brother. Keith continues to say, him becoming a trillionaire, the 30% back to the blacks should be a drop in the bucket. He's a true definition of selfish and stingy. Imagine a trillionaire who does not want to give back to the very people that raised him. Elon Musk, by the way, was raised by black people. His mother and father never gave him the time of day. He was raised in the hands of nannies, black nannies. Let me love and leave. Let me love and leave. Thank you so much, family, for joining my live stream. I will try to improve on the quality of the videos as time goes by. I'm thinking it's a network issue at this point, but thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.